Alright, unfortunately, uh, I can't seem to draw on the damn thing if it's full screen, but if it's maximized, we're Gucci. So, we're gonna have to deal with how it is like so. We're also going to have to resize a few things so that you don't see my taskbar. Wait, this is actually going to stretch it. Never mind. We're just gonna roll with it. Okay, so we're gonna be yeah, we're gonna be VOD reviewing an alpha scrim from as Cactus puts it, the last day of alpha, Overwatch 2 alpha. So all of the more recent changes are gonna be here. By the way, I got this footage from CactusPuppy. Please do go to his channel, subscribe if you want to see more of his own alpha gameplay and perspectives. And major thanks to him for doing some editing on this particular thing because yeah, he made the mistake of doing shadow play, of using shadow play to record things. And yeah, that's gonna do some audio desyncs, so he had to do some manual audio resyncing. And today we're gonna look at a scrim during the Overwatch alpha between well, a bunch of content creators and I believe some devs. Content creators and I well nah, just content creators. I was gonna say it's like pro players. Nope, none of these people are pro players. Never were. I think, okay, at least not into the Overwatch League. I think you can consider, if you consider contenders as what do you call this? It's professional play, then maybe. I think, I think some of them made it to contenders at least once. And we're currently on Circuit Royale, one of the new maps for Overwatch 2. So you can see we have two teams as per usual, but now they're 5v5. And on defense, you've got a Reinhardt, but no Lucio, which is interesting, right? Because Lucio would have made it possible for speed boost, which means that you can brawl, right? So the mere fact that they have no speed boost, there's no Lucio, means that they're just going to hold a corner. And then since they've got both Echo and Soldier, then you're probably going for opportunistic picks with the Soldier. That's power boosted, but damage boosted by a Mercy. Or you just have an Echo that will at times pick off a low target. So that's basically the game plan for the defending team. For the red team, since you've got Sombra, Soldier, so you're kind of playing for spam. Well, spam isn't really that great because, again, there's not really any shields on Orisa anymore, right? Wait, we should use blue and red. We forget that. Anyway, so there's no shield. So spamming is probably not that great, although their comp with the Zen, with the Soldier, and an Orisa means that you kinda can spam it, and in theory, your Rhine is the enemy Rhine is gonna have a very bad time. And then you've got it's kind of a weird pick, but we'll see. Sombra did change quite a bit. She no longer has a permanent or like an 8-second hack. She still does, but the disable is no longer like 8 seconds, right? So you've got a way of scouting and maybe assassinating, say, a Mercy or an Ana or an overextended Soldier. So you've got your mobility, you've got your scouting slash um, mobility hero, so that you can your team can, because this is fairly static. It's almost as static as this. Their heroes are a little bit more mobile on the defending side, but on the attacking side, yeah, you've got a lot of mobility problems. Your soldier can technically go for a flank just the same way as a blue soldier, but yeah, not having a pocket is means that you have to remain in line of sight of your Zen, right? Which means that your flank routes are fairly limited if you're even gonna go for it. You're probably going to be off angling, right? So this soldier's gonna be off angling, whereas the enemy soldier is just gonna go for hard flanks, right? Or at least that's how I think this will go. Going with the knowledge of Overwatch 1 and blah blah blah. Yeah. So, but yeah, if so the win condition for the attacking team is to overwhelm blue or overwhelm the defense with just sheer firepower. Firepower or spam. Because while yeah, Orisa no longer has a shield, she can still spam, she has infinite ammo. She can knock people away, so if the Reinhardt or anybody on this team really gets too close, you can knock away with the javelin and then keep spamming them over and over and over. So I think that is a fairly good game plan, right? And then you've got mobility for uh for your Sombra so that you can just scout and just get into position properly because again, not very mobile this team. This blue team is, or the defending team is a little bit more mobile. Again, no Lucio, so your game plan is almost the exact same, except that instead of holding a corner, these guys can actually, like the attacking team can actually just go out in the open. It's a little bit more dangerous, but they can do that because they have more spam, more incoming spam compared to them, compared to the defending team. Why? Uh, Reinhardt can only shoot twice, quote unquote, shoot twice with his brand new Fire Strike. You've got a support that doesn't really shoot. She does more damage boosting and healing more than anything. So yeah, you're holding a corner while hoping that your Echo and your Soldier are going to do their job of flanking and getting picks. So yeah, those are the game plans. Let's see how it works. Okay, so this is a very interesting high ground, right? Yeah, if they're holding down there, you can actually just go up into the stairs and then start spamming. This is a very powerful spamming spot. This right here. So, but then again, you've got like a 5v5 now. Oops, I can't write. It's 3 a.m. I woke up at 1 a.m. So it's a 5v5. So it's a big question on who pushes payload. Because if this were, again, obviously there's going to be another person, but the value of the sixth guy is that you can always place either a Brig or a Diva or even a BAP onto the payload and it'll chug along, and then the rest of your team, especially if this is your composition, is just going to hold a corner and just keep spamming. But now it's a big question mark of who is going to be left on the payload. You could, theoretically speaking, put either of those supports on the payload, right? However, if the enemy team just charges in, then these guys are completely out of position. They're a very easy kill. You just charge the payload, and then hopefully, the only counterplay that you can have for that is positioning everyone else on like high grounds, ready to attack from different angles, right? So it's an interesting dilemma with 5v5, but okay. So blue team is already having difficulties holding a corner because there's just so much spam. And there's not really a lot of flanks. Like, if you go back, look at their position right now. Soldiers way back instead of over here. Then again, I don't think you have... But then you have to. You kind of have to flank hard with this. Otherwise, the spamming team just freely walks in. So yeah, definitely needed to do a harder flank there. So now it's a lot more difficult to hold that corner for the defending team. Also, notice how tanky that was. Holy shit. Hang on. Good lord. Wait. Alright. So, they're down Zen. Red is down their Zen. Okay. So they're just spamming down this. Sarissa is basically out in the open, kind of free. She gets antied. She does her Fortify, which, by the way, no longer grants armor, right? Fortify no longer grants armor, it grants over health. Well, let's just let's just call it over HP, and then it gives you faster cooldowns, I think. At least for your gun, for your main gun. Right now, Orissa's being antied and being shot at by two fairly powerful DPS. And let's look at her friggin' health. So, 45 is over. We're down to 53, but holy crap, that took way longer than usual. It took way longer than usual to kill an Orisa. Typically, on Overwatch 1, it takes a very short time to kill an Orisa the moment the 45 goes down. Especially if this is your this is your backline. If these two are the things that are healing you, yeah, you're gonna die fairly quick. It has to be a BAP and a Brig so that they have immortality field, blah blah blah, for more sustain. But the mere fact that Orisa just survived. Also, that was a very unlucky fire strike for this Sombra. She was stealthed, and yeah, a random fire strike just got her. Okay. Yeah, the tanks are much more tanky. Partly maybe because they tone down the damage, and also because there's not really a lot of... what do you call this? There's not really a lot of damage because of one guy missing. Like, imagine if a D.Va just flew into that Rhine, or that Orisa just blocked her. That's... yeah, that's death. But can't do that because yeah, there's just one less guy. Also, ults are really slow. This is the very first nano boost in the game, same for the blue team. And this is all despite not really having shields. Yeah, there's not really a lot of shields in this game right now. There's only one, that's Rhine. And even then, even with just a Rhine, and by the way, these guys are just everywhere, right? They are split, they're not really using their shield, so they're gonna get hit. They should get hit, and yeah, there's still not really a lot of ults, which is an interesting choice. And I kinda like it. The way that ults build in the current game of Overwatch is really fast. Just because you have another buddy called an off tank by the community, where you can just charge your ult off of. Okay, Flats gets spotted. Oh no. Thank God hack is no longer, it's just an interrupt. It's no longer just a hard disable. And even then, right? Flats, this Reinhardt was just out in the open. And he didn't seem to take that much damage. Now, for the red team, I think, again, if you're going to go for spam, I believe that you're better off just going up that stairway. Especially if their comp is just Rein. Well, yes, you have no shield, but you still have plenty of what do you call this? You have plenty of spam. You have more firepower to put down range than the blue team. Plus, they're really reliant on just holding this corner. So, if you go to the top right, over here, oops, damn it, I hate that. I wish I could full screen, but it just doesn't like me having this app. Doesn't like me having Epic Pen on there. So, we'll have to deal with this. Yeah. But Evil Toaster right now is more than satisfied at trying to play Orisa as a brawly tank, which I can see. I can see that happening and working because she's a lot more tanky. And apart from that, she has that javelin spinning thingy, which we will see in a little bit. There we go. The javelin spinning thingy also has a knockback, so Flats almost went off the map, despite the initial plan of charging the Orisa off the map. Turntables have turned. Oh no. He shot more at the wall. Oh my god. Oh my god. See, look at that shit. Right? So this Ryan is almost dead. He got rocketed. Wait, no, he didn't. He didn't get rocketed yet. He was about to get rocketed in the back. But he was really low. He was hella low. Just because of the Mercy Pocket and I guess the nade, that's the only reason why he survived, but this was live? Again, that guy would have been dead, so yeah, apart from just having one last guy, I think they tuned down the damage. Not really, or maybe it's the buff to the tanks, right? The tanks have a passive that makes them take less damage. Oh, that spear. So yeah, red team is still playing it like a brawl, which I in my opinion, in my current understanding of how things work, kind of detrimental. Because yeah, they're better off spamming things. Oh, that's a huge nade. It's a huge nade from Scoob. This is such a good area for Widowmaker. Right, you've got incredibly long sightlines. You can maybe position it over here, but I think the most ideal is, of course, over there. There's not really a lot of cover. Still have very good sightlines of this area, which is very big. I think even all the way across here. So I think on second point, Widowmaker is really, really good for defense. I'm not 100% sure on attack, because if we go back to a perspective where from down below, hopefully we get that. Okay. So this is the wrong perspective. It's on the it's from the defending team. Also, that was a really good. I think he javelined the Reinhardt who was charging onto the point. Yeah, there we go. That javelin is so clutch. Not only did it cancel the charge, it pushed them back, and now they can't contest. They just get the point for relatively for free. Okay. So Ryan was out of position. EPS couldn't really output the damage to persuade the red team to back off. There's a random ass Orisa, and holy shit, that Orisa was right between both DPS. There's definitely a damage boost coming from this Mercy. Again, not really a lot of damage being up, but I kinda like it. The tanks feel really, really tanky. That was a huge, huge shatter. And I guess that's one of the reasons why Ryan might actually be good in this game, because there's not really another shield. Unless, of course, there's an enemy Ryan. But yeah. One less shield to worry about means that your shatters are almost guaranteed. You just need to wait for a CC to come out, which typically means that you need to wait for Javelin, right? So you need to wait for the Javelin to be used. If there's a Sig, then of course the Rock, Accretion, whatever you call it. And then what else? What else would be a CC that prevents shatters? Well, of course there's also the shatter. Oh, but yeah, Doomfist Punch. I don't think they switched to Doom in this one. But yeah, Punch from Doomfist. Yeah, if those are the only things that will kind of stop you, well, of course, like Hack. Yeah, Hack actually is another thing, as well as Sleep Dart. But that's not really a lot compared to what you have to face in Overwatch 1, plus the shields. So, this is pretty good. I mean, it might be a good time to be a Rhine. Of course, if it's a vertical map, it's probably not that great, but such as Rhine. I mean, that's fantastic. That means that Rhine isn't going to be ubiquitous. Also, this is incredibly weird. You've got a Reinhardt that's defending the high ground, who definitely does not have much range. And then you've got both of your DPS on the low ground, spamming. Yeah, this is a recipe for disaster, and there you go. Of course, this Mercy's probably gonna die. Yep, because there's attack visor. So yeah, I think placing a Widowmaker right up here, on where the Rhine was, where Flats was positioning himself. There we go. Right over here. If you're on defense on circuit, placing a Widow or having a Widow for second point is incredible, right? I would say. Because you just have a commanding view of everything. You just need to make sure that, number one, the Widow's flanks are heavily guarded, right? And number two, you have your tank over here. You have your main tank. Well, I should probably remove main tank from my vocabulary because there's only going to be one tank. But yeah, I can see having a Widow over there, your tank is going to be over here. And then maybe another DPS is going to be over here. Off-angling. It's either off-angling or ready to swivel to defend the Widowmaker. So if you're on attack, I don't really know what you can do if there's a Widowmaker over there. Maybe if you're on the attacking team, you can get a Widow of your own, right? So Widow counter or counter Widow pick just for countering their Widow. You can also have Ball. I don't know why Ball starts with a D, but my brain says it does. So you Ball plus maybe a Tracer or Sombra. Although that's probably, in this game of 5v5, that's probably too much to send to try and kill a Widowmaker. Right? So maybe just the Ball. The Ball just goes in and tries to take down the Widowmaker herself, and then either the Widow has to go back, or what do you call this? She has to go forward, but then that's feeding into the red team. So yeah, I think that's a viable option for this one. but definitely not this. And you want your Ryan a little bit more forward, I'd say, and then your DPS are gonna be on the high ground. So you're baiting. You're, the blue team needs to bait flats for that one.
60 seconds remaining.
This is also really nice high ground because I believe this is the only choke that you need to check. I don't know if there's another flank to the right or to the left that you need to check, but yeah, this is a hard choke right here. So I can see Ashe being good. Ashe might be good in this third point, assuming that you still have control of this area. Um, Junkrat might be good because again, it's a hard choke. Hanzo is another pick that you can do. But again, this is all if and only if you can control this choke and this high ground. Hey, Tudor, what's up? So yeah, um, yeah, definitely something that you can look into. But if you're the red team, right? If you're the red team and you're stuck in this choke, how do you break it? How do you break the choke? Because a Ryan can just stand in this corridor or in this one for all eternity. Especially if you have a BAP and an Ana supporting him. So how do you break that? Well, one way is actually in the arsenal of red team right now. It's you get a Sombra that stands probably over here, right? So if there's a Rhine, if the enemy Rhine is over here, wait, let's make it blue. So if Rhine is over here, you send your Sombra where Zaxinator is to try and get a hack, and then everybody needs to focus fire on the Rhine. This is assuming that they're trying to hold this choke, and that they have high ground over here. This is a little bit more scary if the blue team is actually just defending from below. But query as to why you would defend from below. Okay, so apart from Rhine, what else can you use to defend second or third point circuit? Um, hmm. So what other tanks or what other compositions can you use? Rhine is probably the most ideal because he can just stuff this, right? Orisa doesn't sound too bad, but then again, you don't have a shield. Yeah, but you need a good team. Well, again, I'm looking at this from a perspective of a scrim. If it's just like ranked or casual, then who cares? And anything can happen in that situation. But if you're going for like higher level play or scrims, then I can see that happening. Wherein you've got way more coordination, you have proper tanks, right? So back to the question of what else can you use apart from Rhine to plug this hole? I don't think Doomfist is that great because you have to wait for them to go past. So that means that you can kind of defend this part with Doomfist, but you have to make them go through the choke, which means that you need control of the high ground, but control of the high ground without them spamming you. Which I don't know how that's even possible, right? There's not really a lot of cover up there. If you go back. Yeah, well, there's this, right? Oh, wait. Wait, I can draw? No, I can't. I got debated. I saw this thingy. Oh, wait, I can. What the fuck? Okay, I've been fucking baited by this goddamn program. Because earlier I couldn't draw. I couldn't draw when it was full screen. That is fucking weird. Oh, okay, anyway. Anyway. So there's not really a lot of cover up here. But I can see a world where you defend with Doomfist. It's either your Doomfist has to be over here, right? Your Doomfist is going to hide in this area because this is the part where the walls are going to be, and you have a good punch. But god damn it, walls. So you can maybe punch them into the wall, or you take the high ground where the Sombra currently is, and you position, you hide, you hopefully don't get spammed. Yeah, that can work. Or, okay, so your Doomfist is going to be up here. Alright, alright, alright. I kind of see the logic now. One of your flanking DPS is going to be over here. And then, if you're defending, by the way, one DPS is over there. Another one is probably going to be hiding behind this structure over here. So, another DPS over here. Yeah, that can definitely work. And then you're all just going to engage onto this from different angles. So Doomfist is going to go up top from over the top and try to get a punch. And then the rest of the DPS will go in. So it's not really a hard hold onto this. This is your kill box. So you're willing to give up this choke just so that you can get them into this area where there's not really a lot of cover. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, we've got two compositions that you can do. So your first composition is kind of taking from what uh, Flats and company are using, which is Rhine. You can maybe go for a soldier. Well, just write 76. God damn it, it became PG. You can have 76 or the way that she is currently right now, because she's kind of OP, Sojourn. I cannot spell, it's 3 a.m. Then you have another flanky slash spammy DPS in the form of Hanzo, um, Junkrat, and Ash. You can maybe make a. Can you go for Pharah? Is there enough space up in the air? Actually, you might. You might be able to get away with that because if you can hold them into this choke, they will have a very hard time looking up and trying to shoot the Pharah. So maybe a Pharah might work. Even a Sim. Now that I think about it, because again, this is a hard choke. This is very reminiscent of Hanamura choke. So another thing that you can try is a Sim for third point, and then your DPS or your supports rather are going to be Mercy and maybe an uh, Anna Anna slash slash Bap. Batiste might be really good because you can also shoot and spam, and unironically Zen. Zen. Well, Zen is still good. It's just that my brain is going back to Zen and Anna being really, really bad. Outside, maybe? Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can hold outside. If that's even possible, because that's going to be the new spawn of. Oh, if you're attacking. If you're attacking, alright. What do you do? Okay. So, first of all, you need to somehow break the choke. So if you're facing a Rhine, you need to hack the Rhine and then force him out, right? You need to somehow pressure this guy while keeping safe from all the spam that's coming at you. But yeah, right now, the way things are and the information that we got from Overwatch 2, I think the only way to dislodge this Rhine is to hack him, which is what they're doing right now. And then focus fire. The only thing that's going by Evil Toaster's team right now is the fact that uh, blue team is allergic right now to the high ground, so they're not in a very good position to spam. Right? They have to peek this corner where Evil Toaster can just run at them, and then the rest of red team can just go for flanks, and then they're surrounded and they're gonna die. But yeah, if they're smart, they're gonna go for high ground. But should they go for that high ground, I think your only bet is to force out this Rhine somehow. And right now, the only thing that I can think of is going for a hack, getting that 40% damage boost temporarily for 8 seconds, and then just spamming the living daylights out of this Rhine. And that's it. Hopefully there is another flank. Hopefully this is not really a hard choke. That there's another pathway into this place. Other than this. Because if it isn't, then it's like, dude, this is going to be a very tough map to finish. Anyway, we'll keep going.
I'm out of here.
It's go time.
I'm unstoppable.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, right? I'm expecting some sort of stairwell from outside. From out here, right? There's nothing. So this is really a hard choke, which hopefully they will change because I sense it might be really oppressive. But I think they balanced it out by having way more flanks the moment that you break the
30
choke.
seconds remaining.
Oh, another thing that I thought of right now to break that is a Junkrat. But you need... So it's a Junkrat tire. Right? You can break that choke with a Junkrat tire. But you need an ult. But right now, it seems like ults build up really, really slowly. Like, hella slow. So it might take a while. You might, if you're playing Junkrat for some reason on second point and first point of this, on attack, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a really long while.
10 seconds.
It's also interesting that they pushed. Oh wait, they haven't captured the second point yet, right? They can still do this. They can definitely still do this. Also, I love the fact that there's just a random ass Orisa now, right? So this Orisa just came out of fucking nowhere and started bullying the back line. Like, look at this shit. This, on the current game, you wouldn't be able to get away with this because you'd just die. Oh my god, I love it. I really don't think that's how you're supposed to play it unless, again, you have a more brawly team. But yeah. Okay, so red team eventually breaks through. I don't think that EMP was necessary. They were already backing off. You already got the picks. Okay, I think it's very crucial, especially if you're attacking, to control the high ground on this one. Because there's so much, it's so good. The high ground on this part is so good. You got that thing, you've got this bridge up top that just has commanding sight lines of this. So the moment that you have control of the top, I think you just win. I think you just win. I think it becomes a game of whoever has control of the walkways of the high ground on this third point, they'll determine how easily you can win this map. So unfortunately, they lost their mercy. They couldn't really protect their mercy. And I think she got spammed. I think she also got Javelin. Yeah, I think she did get Javelin, because she just took so much damage out of nowhere. Oh, dude. Hanzo doing some work. I really wish that Hanzo was up here, though, with the soldier. Just taking two different angles.
30 seconds remaining.
Adelante. Our time is up. Push now.
Okay, now they control the high ground. Like, right here. If you control this, you take out whoever, and then just spam. You can just spam. Like, holy fuck. And there's nothing really that they can do unless they send, I don't know, a Diva, a Doomfist, a Mercy pocketed DPS up there just to clear it. Which means that they won't be able to defend the low ground push of the payload. I also, again, holy fuck. The damage that you need to deal just to get rid of a tank. That is awesome. Okay, so that was the first round. Switch sides. Okay, dude. Okay, Cactus, I see you. That transition is so smooth. I need to ask him for that. I kind of wanna use it for my own videos.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
So on attack, we're basically all going to have the exact same thing. I don't know how I feel about Widowmaker on attack, though. I think, at least for the first point, even on attack, because, okay, if you think about it, right? You place your Widow over here, right? Or maybe down main. There's so many things that you can just obscure sightlines. There's so many alleyways that you can just hide into. Are you streaming tomorrow? I will if I get the beta key. If I can get the beta key, I am definitely streaming that for God knows how long. If I don't get the beta key, then I will try getting the beta key tomorrow by watching some goddamn streamer for 4 hours, because that's the only surefire way that you're going to get a beta key. Also, I'm probably not going to be VOD reviewing that much. I'm going to be playing as much as possible. Right now, I'm just very interested in theory crafting and just thinking about this game, because, you know, I do coaching and I love just the mental, strategic, tactical aspect of Overwatch. Be it 1 or 2. Although I like 2 right now just because there's a lot more possibilities. I signed up for the beta on the site, same. I also signed up for the beta. But it's going to be pure RNG on who's going to be able to come in. The guys, the people who are in, or who made it into the alpha, are automatically going to go into the beta, as far as I know. So, but there's only a very select few of those people anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure they're going to let quite a bit of people in, at least on the first day, and then I don't know how many people are going to be able to watch a stream for 4 hours. 4 hours of Twitch? I mean, what you can do is just have a streamer on on an alt tab, a minimize tab, and then just keep watching for 4 hours. You don't have to pay attention to anything. You'll automatically get in for as long as you watch for 4 hours. So yeah. So anyway, on attack on first point, what the hell do you do? I think it's incredibly open. If you're on first point attack, wait, let's not do that. Let's do this instead. Right? The moment that you get out of this corner, even if you don't get out of that corner, actually, if you're the attacking team, you just go upstairs. You can out-rotate the enemy team, or just force them off of this corner. Right. So that means that you can probably go for Brawl, because this is very horizontal, right? This first point is very horizontal. You can also go for Spam. You set up your Orisa/Sigma over here, and then just spam the living daylights out of the enemy team. Now the question is, who the fuck is going to push the payload? Because typically that's going to be a Diva's job. That's going to be Diva or Lucio, but your Lucio is definitely going to be joining you over here. maybe. If you're Brawl. If you're Spam, for Spam, there's not gonna be a Lucio. There's not gonna be a Diva either. So it has to be a support, right? A support has to push this. Which means it's almost always bad news bears if there's a flanker, right? So if a support is pushing payload, and they're definitely going to be doing it solo, then you're going to have people who can flank dealing with this, going for a 1v1, or maybe a 2v1 if there are two flankers. Which means that because there's not really a lot of CC on anyone except tanks, this is going to be a problem. It's going to be, your support needs to be really good or very observant, right? Because there's a Tracer or a Sombra or a Genji or whatever flanker that they have that just goes on to your support. That support needs to be godlike at surviving because they're gonna die. They don't have any CC, yeah, unless they're Ana. But even then, Ana's CC is a skill shot, right? So this is very weird. This is very strange. Puts you in a very strange and, in my opinion, very interesting position. So can we also talk about, should I buy Overwatch 2? Is it worth it? I mean, if you bought Overwatch 1, you'll get Overwatch 2. Because Overwatch 1 will cease to exist. And it's going to be replaced by Overwatch 2 PvP. The only thing that you're gonna buy for Overwatch 2 is the PvE, which I think they're going to try and make like something like a DLC. And the Battle Pass, which it's heavily implied that there's going to be a Battle Pass that is likely going to be for skins. Skins and emotes. Which, again, you can play the game without those skins and emotes. So, you know. If you already have Overwatch 1, then congratulations, you already bought Overwatch 2. because it's going to be just an upgrade. Quote unquote upgrade. Oh dude. So this is why I don't really believe in Widowmaker on this map, at least for on attack on second point. Or nearing second point. It's because what is your sight line right now? This is the only thing that you can shoot. Right here. This area right there is the only thing that you can shoot. You can maybe go all the way to the right, but then again, you've already captured the point, so question as to whether or not that's going to be useful. Right? So I don't believe in using a Widowmaker, at least on the very first point on this map. On attack. On defense, you can make an argument for second point, but not on first point. It's just really questionable on whether or not you have effective sightlines apart from this. I'm buying 100% Overwatch 2. I mean, go for it, man. If you want the PvP or the PvE experience, and you don't have Overwatch 1 right now, you won't be buying Overwatch 1 even when Overwatch 2 releases, then yeah, you're buying Overwatch 2 100% just to get the game itself. But if you have Overwatch 1 right now, you will get Overwatch 2 whether you like it or not, because Overwatch 1 is going to cease to exist, at least in PvP form. So yeah. Oh dude, can you imagine being a soldier and fucking going for this flank right here? Wait, there's a flight of stairs over here that you can just go to. Holy shit. And then you have a mercy pocket. Oh my god. That I think in theory that's going to be incredibly cash. The weird thing is that no one on the red team is playing a Widowmaker, which I think is so OP on this one. Just because of the sidelines. Oh my god, you only have one shield. And the shield is dead. Oh wait, no, it's not even dead. The rest of it, I think, is still alive. Oh no. The misses. Sag. I think the more interesting buffs to the tags is coming up. I have Overwatch 1, have it on PS4, and I'm going to buy Overwatch 2 on PC. Go for it, man. Oh, being a Rhine in this game might be a lot of fun. A lot more fun. Just because you're more durable, and there's less CC, less shields that you need to worry about that will cancel your shatter. Holy shit, this man just gets a casual 5-man shatter. Holy fuck. I was thinking to buy Overwatch, but my friends say it's a dead game, and actually makes me sad because the game looks very good. And what should I do? I mean, it's a dead game in the sense that no one's really upgrading or updating Overwatch 1 right now because everyone's busy with Overwatch 2. I think for a while, for a good while, at least for a year, Overwatch 2 is going to be a very much alive game. It's going to be very much alive. If not just through the PvP, it's going to be through the PvE. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to be hyped for it. You can just not buy it too. That's completely fine. But for me, I'm heavily invested in it. I coach a team for Overwatch 1. Likely still going to be coaching teams in Overwatch 2 because I like it. I like doing it. I get paid to do it. So yeah, definitely looking forward to Overwatch 2 and what it has to offer, at least PvP wise. I don't really care much about PvE, which again, I don't know how they'll execute PvE for this one, but if their demo of it is anything to go with, then yeah, I think PvE is also going to be very good for Overwatch 2. Also, can we talk about this bullshit right here? Holy moly, okay. So, they wipe out the support, one DPS for blue. Yeah, or for red. Guy charges in. Reinhardt charges in. Gets shot out the back. It's like, dude, this man just doesn't die. He just doesn't die. The damage output in this game is just not that high. Which means that people will actually play tanks now. Part of the reason why people don't like Overwatch 1 is because there's this class called tank. And their job is just to absorb all the CC, all the stuns, all the damage. And that is their job. And that sucks to play as, because if you're in a first-person shooter and you're not shooting things, you're not Wing and like feeling powerful and shit, it sucks. You don't want to play it. And with Overwatch 2, I think that the devs saw this and it's like, you know what, we're just gonna reduce the number of tanks to just one, and then power up whatever tanks there is left. And now people might play it a little bit more. And going by this, going by everything else I've seen from Overwatch 2 PvP Alpha, yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely excited to play tank again. I've been playing mostly DPS and coaching. And even when I do play tank, I play the tanks that don't really quote-unquote tank, they just exist. Like Ball or I guess Hog. I don't really play that much Hog. I play more Winston. But yeah. First point defense, Ashe. I like it because again, you've got this. There are only very few options for the enemy team to go into. That's this choke, this right here, and this right here. And all of them are fairly narrow, fairly choked up, so a single dynamite is gonna be pretty good, right? It's gonna be pretty good. Another one that you can maybe play on first point defense is Twerp. Because you've got some fairly good angles where you can put your turret that it won't really get shot at. Or at least cover some flanks. But then again, these are not really that hard flanks. The question as to whether or not Torbjorn is that great. Actually. Also, interesting. Interesting that they already have this. Which means that they kind of learned from their very first iteration of Overwatch. Right? All these options are already available. In the very first release of Overwatch, I don't think it even had these. Which is nice. It's a good sign.
3, 2, 1.
But should I start to play Overwatch seriously because I like to invest much time in my hobbies and progress at them? Is it worth putting that time into Overwatch? I mean, it's your hobby. Uh, Again, it's going to be a brand new game fairly soon, so you could put in some time right now, but I wouldn't really suggest it in Overwatch 1. Just because everybody's just waiting for this game to come out. Everybody's just waiting for Overwatch 2. A lot of the people that I've talked to who managed to get into the beta, or to the alpha, including the guy who provided this video, yeah, they don't, they kind of miss it immediately. They don't want to play Overwatch 1, they just want to play this game. Because it's, in their words, it's a lot more fun. It feels incredibly fresh. And that's playing against the exact same people almost every single time, by the way, because the alpha didn't really have a lot of people in it. Now, as for sinking that much time into Overwatch, I don't know. Do you want to go pro? What's your aim? Why do you want to put that much time into it? And to my knowledge, there's going to be PvE as well. So maybe you want to put in time into that. But we don't know how good PvE is going to be. And again, you're talking to someone who is incredibly biased towards PvP, right? I just care about PvP. I don't care about the skins. I don't care about PvE. I don't care about anything. I just want to play 5v5 ranked or quick play, whatever they're going to have available early on, and just lose. I just want to have fun. Well, for you, just play the game. Get some friends who have the exact same, like,
30 seconds remaining.
wants, or you could just go to a random Discord, maybe, community, grab some friends from there, and fucking play the game. I mean, this being very new, like, none of the things that I'm seeing right now, I mean, there are definitely some basics that apply in Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, but the mere fact that DPS seem to be dealing less damage, right? So there's just less damage. Less CC. There's also less annoying shit like another tank that you have to deal with, right? Less tanks. These three alone just feel so great. These three alone just change the meta significantly. Because all of a sudden, who the hell is going to push the payload? Which is something that most people are not going to think about that much. But right here, right now, it's like, who the fuck is going to push the payload and be safe? Right? Do you have a Discord? Yeah, I do. It's in the description of my YouTube, of the stream. But yeah, who the fuck is going to fucking push the payload? How do you control tanks that are just advancing towards you if there's less CC and there's less damage? The meta just changes so much. And that for me is fun. And since the meta is different and there's a lot of reworks, that means that everybody is going to be reset to the very basic level almost. Which means that everybody's going to be doing random shit, which, I know, a lot of people think is fun. I know I do. So, at least for the first year, I think Overwatch 2 is going to be fun. at least for the first year. I don't know where it will go, but hey, I like what I'm seeing right now. I very much like what I'm seeing right now. Like, dude, the mere fact that Orisa can do this shit and just charge in, you can play your Orisa really aggressively like that without a Lucio, without, well, they have a Lucio right now, but you can still play aggressively without melting to oblivion is so nice.
Payload has reached
And still not be that oppressive because you have Hold and you have Shield and you have Fortify. And then you have an ult that just charges everybody's ults. Doesn't these three things make the game a little bit easier? Kind of. Because, okay, so one of the more unfun things of Overwatch 1 is here's the skill ceiling, right? Let's say the skill ceiling is really high for Overwatch, because it kinda is. Right? This is the skill ceiling. Now, in most games, the skill floor, that is the basic of what you need to know and be able to do, is fairly low, right? For most games, but in Overwatch 1, the skill floor is almost all the way up there. So, for you to get good, or not even good, for you to be mediocre in Overwatch 1, you have to know all the things. You need to know the flanks, how your hero works, what the composition of the enemy team is, and how that relates to you. How do you play against that? And even if you know each and every single one of these things, you're still just mediocre. Why? Because that's how it is. You just need a very coordinated team in Overwatch 1 to even have a little bit of fun in its current form, because everybody just knows the game. Everybody right now who is still playing the game just knows it by heart. No one's playing casually. The amount of skill and knowledge that you need to have is so high just to be mediocre in Overwatch 1 that it becomes very unfun. So I don't mind if the devs right now are looking at the very first game and, you know what? It's too hard. Let's lower the skill floor like so. So that everyone can kind of goof around a little bit, and it might work sometimes and might not work sometimes, but they're having fun. Because that's number one priority for any game. Esports is not a priority. I mean, if you're gonna get good, eventually someone's gonna find out some broken mechanics, some optimal composition, optimal positioning, whatever. That's part of my job, and have fun with that. But if your skill floor is incredibly high to the point that it just bars everybody from playing the game and having fun, then do you have a good game? The answer is no. And it didn't help. It didn't help that the heroes that they introduced in Overwatch 1 were the following. You had Brig, which was just a noob destroyer. You had Doomfist, which is another noob destroyer. And then, yeah, just these two. Just these two heroes just made things incredibly difficult for new people to play against, or to play the game. Because they had stun, they had one shot, they were incredibly hard to kill. So, yeah. It's like, it just made the game unfun for people who were just starting out or just there to have a good time. it it made pro play a little bit more complicated, yeah, sure. But if 90% of your player base is just unhappy, then why why do it? The funny thing is that Doomfist, despite everybody complaining about Doomfist, was not even that good. At least when he got nerfed and all the changes that happened to him happened in Overwatch 1. The only people who complained about Doomfist eventually were people who just didn't wanna, or didn't know how to counter him. Which was, if you don't know how to counter a Doomfist, all you have to do is shoot him. If the Doomfist is looking to punch into you, then all you need to do is hide behind the wall and bait the punch. Then after that, you just shoot them. Loving the stream. Thank you for everything. Don't worry about it, man. Appreciate it. If you can like and subscribe to the channel, that would be great. Tomorrow I might stream depending on whether or not I get into the beta. But yeah, I do variety streams, but
Ready for
seeing as Overwatch 2 beta is coming out, and then sometime in the year Gundam Evolution is gonna come out as well, I'm gonna be streaming those mostly. I might play Elden Ring again
incoming in
with a
10
different
seconds.
build, but that's probably gonna come much later. I'm gonna be focusing on Overwatch 2 for the most part, and Gundam Evolution whenever that thing comes out. As for Gundam Evolution, do I think that it's going to be the Overwatch killer? No, because Overwatch just feels different. Gundam Evolution just feels different as well.
One.
And also Gundam is 6v6. If you can stream more, you would make me happy. I do stream quite a bit, actually. I stream on weekdays. But yeah, if it's going to be Overwatch 2, and again, I get into the beta, I'm streaming every day. I don't know for how long, but I'm gonna be streaming almost every day. Excuse me. Because, I just want to know. I just want to know how the... I just want to share my own pathetic gameplay. I'm not a very good player, by the way. I'm more of a thinker. I like to think of strategies and shit. But yeah, I'll definitely be streaming that, despite how bad it is. Also, holy fuck, that Lucio got fucked. That got he got magnetized. Holy moly, that is funny. Even then, right, like look at this. He's completely surrounded, by the way. There's a Hanzo shooting him. There's an Ana shooting him. There's an Orisa shooting him. He's still not dead until then. That's insane. I am very excited to play a tank. Maybe someday we can play together? Sure. Sure. What you need to know though is that you might be from the Americas, or Europe. I am in Asia, so beware of the what do you call this? The ping, the ping difference. And also, I only play on PC, so there's also that. Not a good player either, but I think you're better than me. Maybe. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. I don't think... I think the highest rank that I've ever achieved is 3800. I'm from Europe? Okay. Cool. Cool. So yeah. Anyway, that was basically it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just chill watching this. I don't think there's a lot left that we can glean from this, apart from I am playing in EU servers. Will the ping be that bad? Okay, so again, I'm in Asia. I don't know how NA EU is gonna be like. Although I will say that I've had players playing from EU and going into NA scrims, and their ping isn't that bad. I think the highest that they've gotten is 100 milliseconds. And Overwatch being Overwatch, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Overwatch becomes really iffy when you get to, excuse me, when you get to 150 ping or higher. And even then, because I used to scrim in NA at 200 plus ping, it's still doable. It's fairly difficult, obviously, but still doable.
I'm on fire.
Oh, this is a brave ass soldier. Holy shit! Going up here, no mercy, no Reinhardt. That's some confidence right there. Holy shit. Oh, this is the part. Holy fuck. Watch this. Okay, so Flats gets found out. He's a Reinhardt. If you've ever played Reinhardt on fucking Overwatch 1, you know that this man is very dead. But since we're in Overwatch 2, he just turns around and fucking shatters, like, both supports. Survives being hit. He wasn't being healed, by the way. So throughout that entire exchange, he wasn't being healed. It's only now. And even then, he's just half health. It's only now that he gets immortality and consistently healed. Holy shit! I am so excited to be a fucking tank. Alright, man. Good night. I'm just gonna end the stream as well. Because I think we've already gotten through the topics. And I haven't really found any other scrims that I can watch. So good night, Tudor. So if I don't want any DLC, skins, or PvE, can I buy Overwatch 1 and get... Yes, you can get Overwatch 2 if you have Overwatch 1, but if you bought Overwatch 1 for the console, then that's going to be Overwatch 2 for the console. If you bought Overwatch 1 for a PC, then that's going to be Overwatch 2 for the PC. So, you know. You gotta be careful. Actually, that's the only thing that you need to be careful of. And then, for you to get into the beta, you need to be on PC. And then have Overwatch 1, but in their latest update, they said that if you can get into the free trial of Overwatch 1, and then maybe also gain access to Overwatch 2 beta. So, there's also that option if you want to try out Overwatch 2 PvP. Which starts tomorrow. And then you also have a chance to get beta access if you watch a stream on Twitch for 4 hours minimum. And yeah. And then have the trial version of Overwatch 1. So that's a lot of things that need to happen, but, you know, if you really want to get in, that's another way to get in. And then I believe they're going to do a console version of the beta at some other point. Right now, I think they're just concerned on or in testing out how the game feels for Overwatch League and just general balance. Because right now, I mean, from what I've heard from people in the alpha, Sojourn is kind of OP. Sojourn is kind of OP. There are instances where Tracer is kind of OP. Because less stuns means more Tracer flanks, more safe Tracer flanks, and yeah, that means that Tracer is gonna be potentially incredibly oppressive. So yeah, they're testing a lot of things with this beta, and they're doing it for 3 weeks as well. A 3-week long beta, which is insane. But I guess that's how much they wanna showcase the game and also test things. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and sleep now. Or maybe sleep. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I don't feel like playing Overwatch 1 right now. So basically Overwatch 2 is skins and PvE. Yep! That's basically it. I mean, specifically buying Overwatch 2 entails, or means basically just getting PvE and skins. I think the skins they're going to do a battle pass type deal. I'm not 100% sure. They haven't really spoken about that. There are some clues on battle pass being in the game. So there's that. But yeah, if again, if you have Overwatch 1, you automatically will get Overwatch 2 when it releases. At least in PvP form. As for the PvE, I think they're gonna lock that behind basically a paywall. Yeah, you need to pay for the PvE section of Overwatch 2. And I think the skins as well, because right now, Overwatch 1, you can earn each and every single skin without paying a goddamn dime for it. Like, there's very few people. The way that the box system works right now for Overwatch, it's very hard to monetize because it just rewards people for playing the game. Which means that no one's gonna, unless you're incredibly desperate, no one's gonna pay for skins. Unless, of course, they change the system. Which I guess why there's evidence, there's clues that they might go for. Maybe you can recommend a role? Okay, so as a coach, and if you're starting out, what would I recommend as a role to start out with? Actually, it's not so much a role, it's more of a hero that you can play as for each role. I would say that right now, Reinhardt is still probably the easiest tank to play. Because you walk forward and you shield up. And then you absorb damage. So in terms of tanks, I think Reinhardt is one tank that you can play off of just starting the game. And just have fun with it. And be somewhat effective. Because you are a rectangle guy. You are holding shield, absorbing damage, and swinging hammer. While holding W. For the DPS, there's Soldier 76, which is on screen right now. It's if you know how to play COD, you know how to play Soldier 76. That's all I'm gonna say. And then for supports, the easiest I think to play is going to be Mercy, because you're pointing your stick at people. You're pressing left click to heal them and pressing right click to damage boost them, and that is it. Sometimes you have to revive people, but you know, it's an option. That's it. It's very easy. It's fairly easy. There's a lot more depth to all of those heroes that I just mentioned, but in terms of just picking it up and starting from scratch, yeah, those are fairly basic. This game has flankers, many flankers. You've got Sombra, you've got Tracer, you've got a lot of flankers. And how they'll play out in Overwatch 2, I don't know. Right now, Overwatch 1 has a lot of ways to deal with flankers because they have CC. In Overwatch 2, I don't know how they're gonna deal with that. And I'm excited to see how. If they are going to deal with it. Because, as you can see, right? All over the map are flank routes. You can go in here and through there. You can go over here. There's a flight of stairs over there. There's another flight of stairs over here. So there's a lot of flanking routes. Now, whether or not that's going to be a nightmare for people who are not that good at aiming or don't have CC, because again, Overwatch 2 being Overwatch 2, I don't know. We're about to find out. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and sleep now. Thank you guys for watching. If you got any more questions, you can always reach me at Discord. My Discord server is in the description of this video/stream. But now I'm gonna go ahead and pass out. See y'all. Please do like and subscribe. Tomorrow, hopefully I get into the beta, and we shall play some games and have a relatively chill chat. So, I'll see you then. Bye bye.